This video is an introduction to eukaryotic cells. So take a look at this picture and specifically look at the different compartmentalization areas that you see within the eukaryotic cell. So there's a lot more internal structure in a eukaryote compared to a prokaryote. So there are two major differences between a prokaryote and a eukaryote, and that is the presence of a nucleus and the presence of organelles inside of a eukaryotic cell. So at the top of the picture, you can see this purple spherical structure, and that is the nucleus. Okay, that is where all of the eukaryotic DNA is stored. And RNA, another type of nucleic acid, is also made in the nucleus. Okay, we're going to talk more about the structure of the nucleus in another video. So aside from having a nucleus, eukaryotic cells also have organelles. And I want you to look at this word, organelle. Hopefully one word or part of that word jumps out at you, and that is organ, right? We have organs in our body, right? That each have their own shape and job and little proteins and things that help that organ do its job. So we're familiar with the term organ, but now look at this suffix, L. L means tiny. So organelle literally means tiny organ. And so while eukaryotic cells do not have their own, stomach or appendix or heart or lungs, they do have their own version of tiny organs. So each organelle is essentially its own compartment, okay? So think of the walls of a compartment or even the walls of a cubicle, right? Depending on what kind of office you might be in. Those walls inside the cell are actually membranes. So they're phospholipid bilayers, okay? All membranes are phospholipid bilayers. We've talked about a phospholipid bilayer, which is a special membrane that is the plasma membrane, right? That is the border of the cell. So eukaryotic cells have the plasma membrane, but they also have other membranes that make up the walls of each of these organelles. Okay, so all organelles are membrane bound. And just like the organs in our body, these tiny eukaryotic organs have their own environment, their own function, and their own staff. And again, staff just means proteins and molecules that help that organelle carry out its job, okay? So future videos are going to talk about the details of each of these organelles. But for now, I really want you to notice the difference between the prokaryotes and the eukaryotes, okay? So just like prokaryotes, eukaryotes have a plasma membrane, which is a phospholipid bilayer. But I need you to understand that the specific phospholipids that make up the prokaryotic plasma membrane may be different than that of the eukaryotic plasma membrane. The eukaryotic plasma membrane may have different types of integral and peripheral and transmembrane proteins. They may have different carbohydrates attached to those molecules, okay? So the overall purpose and function and general structure of being a phospholipid bilayer is similar between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, but the exact type of those molecules is going to be a bit different, okay? But same overall gist and purpose. Just like with prokaryotes, the inside of a eukaryotic cell is called the cytoplasm, where you're also going to find a lot of water. You're also going to find the cytosol, which is that jelly-like fluid, and then, ribosomes and things like that. But what's different here between prokaryotes and eukaryotes is exactly what space is referred to as the cytoplasm, okay? Because remember, prokaryotes do not have a nucleus or any type of internal compartmentalization. So the entire inside of a prokaryotic cell is called the cytoplasm. When it comes to a eukaryote, look at that picture on the bottom, okay? The cytoplasm is all of the space between the plasma membrane and the nucleus, okay? The nucleus is not part of the cytoplasm, okay? So it's all the space between the plasma membrane and the nucleus, okay? All right, so that's it for this video, short and sweet. Please let me know if you have any questions and stay tuned for videos on the different organelles.